Okay, good morning. Supposedly I'm live, so hello people, welcome to July 2021. We are in the second half of this year. How are you doing? From everywhere. Okay, let me know if everything works fine, sound wise, and you know, from UK, from India, from New York, all over the world. Cool. Wang Yibao. Yeah, that is so showing yeah, who is your Google, right? Hi, Portugal, from all time zones. Okay, my friends are watching the Flaming Heart because it just went live about 2 hours ago. Yeah. So she keeps bugging me about it. So I'm typing my reply as I'm doing this live stream. How's everyone doing? Australia, yeah, Indonesia, Sweden, France, where else? Everywhere. Thanks to internet. Singapore. Cool. Some places are really hot, some places are okay. A couple of days ago it was really crazy, but not where I am, but other places in Canada got to like what kind of temperature is like impossible to reach temperature at this latitude, but it did. But where I am, it's not so bad. Today is very, very good. Today is only like 20 degrees outside, so it's fine. Yeah. But this year did go hotter than usual where I am. Usually, I only need AC in about 2 weeks' time, really, for the entire year. Usually happening in July where I am in Canada, but this year I've already used AC a couple of times in June, so as for this month, we shall see if it's gonna get like worse. So the world is going to shit. Did people like see the news like it got to 70 degree in Kuwait like a couple of days ago outdoor? I'm like 70 degree. It literally gives you a burn, like you can get cooked at that temperature. And that temperature does nothing to the coronavirus. F it. We're epically effed. For everyone who's watching this live, my sincere hope and wish for every one of you is you're not gonna get touched by this. Okay, that's my prayer is like no matter how crazy it's gonna get, we're all gonna be fine. As we see all kinds of variants of this thing just keeps popping up here and there, and they get buffs. Okay, they get like super buff. It's like love life. Okay, we certainly live in a weird time. Rotting around working from home. 200 degrees here. Where are you? 200 degrees. Why are you still talking? Missile. It was close to 50, almost hitting 50. At one spot in Canada last week. 50. Yeah, 49.6. Ha. Okay, so today, welcome to Avenue X's monthly stream. Also, not gonna have too much of specific topics, but I was thinking we can chat about for half an hour about what's going on, you know, dramas, you know, people can type out what they're watching and stuff, and then I can talk a little bit about, because sometimes I get asked about questions about dramas in general, so we can talk a little bit about that, particularly some some observations I've had in the last couple of years about what is going on with the entire drama sort of world in China right now, and then we can talk about specific dramas again. Let's trying to keep this under 2 hours. I know how easy it is to go over that. From experiences teach me about time management doesn't work with live stream. Okay, so we shall see if we can keep working on this. Okay, let me quickly look. So we can first open it for about half an hour. We can talk about what is going on. Dramas, people can type out what they're watching, just random chats about what's going on. July is weird. June is a bad month for dramas, I would say. Most of the dramas that came out in June are quite not saying there aren't good ones, but average out the number. Not many good dramas. We have a huge amount of drama coming because now is officially summer holiday slot for China, so there are like 24 of dramas lined up waiting to come out. Today we have one, on the 10th we have one. I think 11, 12 all have new dramas coming out. I've seen news like literally yesterday about like 4 or 5 dramas that are coming out now, and we're gonna see more. So be prepared, people. Summer is gonna get crazy in terms of how many dramas will show up. And in terms of like doing final reviews, I know Moonlight I've finished, Eternal Love 3 I've finished, and Day of Becoming You I've finished. Yeah, I've watched all of them. It just depends on, first is whether I think it's necessary to do a review if I don't have much to add to it. Because I do 2 videos a week, so I have to figure out what makes most sense to talk about. And I don't usually combine different dramas into one review, especially if it's a final. Yeah, I need to think about if I have time to do that. And then new dramas are coming like crazy, so I'll have to figure out how that works. Palace of Desire, one day when it's time, when it's a good time to do it, I'll talk about it. It will be like one of a new series of videos that talk about old dramas, like really old ones, right? 10 years old, 15 years old, 20 years old, that type of old drama. So 大明宫词 would be definitely something that's worth talking about. It's one of a kind, never really happened before, never happened again, won't happen again, I don't think. So it's like a super unique drama. That would just always be there and just be all one of a kind, never to be repeated again. So it definitely has some special value about it. I just have to figure out how to put it in the right time. The thing about only having one Avenue X in this world is I can't have 2 of me working at the same time. Liu Yifei's drama only just finished shooting, so fastest end of this year, reasonable next year. You're not gonna see it now, so have patience. Zhao Luci's upcoming drama. She's got a couple, right? I'm not sure which one you're talking about. Yeah, she has a problem ever since she changed her team. Like, she got popular last year, right? And then her team got like, she's pretty much signed to Tencent, and her team is not doing the best kind of job. They really are trying to push her to the next sort of whatever, and a lot of their promotional strategies are more veering towards bad popularity, good popularity, it's all popularity, and you know, we'd rather have it than not, but long term, not very good. Plus, she keeps getting the same type of script and huge amount of workload and repeating the roles, and the type of productions and the scripts are, you know, like the general quality of her dramas are not that high. Yeah. I do feel like, right, the money is just grabbing onto her and trying to squeeze out every last bit of in her to whatever, to cash in on the sort of fame for at her age. I think it's too early, but it like it happens to so many people in this industry. Long term, not the best way, but you know, I'm not sure how much say she has in the whole thing. Thank you, Rita, for your super chat. From Finland, wow. Finland, it must be in the afternoon, called evening now? Evening? Yeah. The one with her and Yang Yang, hope it works out fine, because that drama is like at the end or almost finishing or finishing, but this rumor is the producer and the director don't get along. It's very, very bad signal for production. You know, it's like the captain and I don't know what's the best way to talk about that in the military sense, but it's like the top two leaders of a production don't get along. It's like, if you work in a big company and you have the CEO and I don't know, you know what happens, right? If the higher ups don't agree with each other, everything suffers. Killer and Healer, no, I haven't. Don't think I have time. Yang Yang, did you yeah, that one. I wouldn't hold my hope up too high for that one. I think it would just be a romantic drama. That's pretending to have some professional element in it, but not really. Not really. No, it would just be a romantic drama. Ancient Love Poetry didn't continue. I probably will try to pick out Zhang Yunlong's part and take a look at it. And that's probably what I would do. What can I say? He deserves better! Like I said in my weekly video. Xu Kai, Zhou Dongyu. Falling to Your Smile. No. So for anyone, I know for some reason a lot of people are watching Falling to Your Smile internationally, but this drama is just like landmine field in China. And plus, I'm not really quite interested in that. I took a quick look at it and I'm just like, oh, no, God. Another romantic fall in love drama under the pretense of, you know, oh, we're talking about gaming. No, you're not. No, you're not. Okay. and because of all the scandals, right? All the very, let's say, questionable things about the original novel that this drama is based on, I just decided not to touch it. Yeah. If anyone is asking me when is the drama is gonna air, I don't know. This is Chinese drama land. Nobody knows. Not even the production themselves. They can literally air on the day they say they're gonna air, and they air, right? And then they don't even know that they could say that the day before. This is how it works now. So, like, when is this drama coming out? Until it comes out, right? Nobody knows. Flourish Time, no. Watched about 2-3 episodes, decided not to continue. Penguin is not bad at promoting. Penguin is the best at promoting among all the platforms, but Penguin does the worst kind of strategy for content creation, which is Tencent. It's not because they don't promote it correctly. It's because the drama is not good enough. You know, no matter how much promoting you do, it's like the stuff, if the stuff is not good, you know, kind of like, there's only that much you can. Tears on Fire, what is that? I haven't heard about it, sorry. So that one didn't reach me. Who is the murderer airing? I don't know. So, final, like, I know people keep coming in, so you wouldn't hear about that. Final mentioning in this live stream is, don't ask me when a drama is going to air. Nobody knows. Nobody knows in China. Not even the dramas themselves. Okay? And this is how it works today now. We just have to deal with it. Detective Chinatown 3? I haven't. Interesting enough. Because I know it probably is out if I want to. So when I find time, probably we'll take a look. People are typing like crazy. You're so fast. Chinese film recommendation. I wouldn't be the best person because I don't get the first hand, right? And for drama, for films that goes into cinema, I'm the last one to watch it because of where I am, I can't see it. So, like, I'm really bad at introducing you to films, especially new films that are releasing now. It's like, I don't even know what they look like. Okay. Let me think what would be the best to talk about, right? So I'm just gonna go, like, I don't really have a outline, but I'm gonna talk about something I just remembered, since we, you know, the ancient love poetry is still airing and a lot of people are indeed watching it. The other day I saw something really interesting talking about the difference, okay, and how Western concept and perception of fantasy have heavily influenced and impacted the Chinese storytelling that wasn't really naturally or traditionally in the genes of Chinese storytelling, which is very, very interesting. So it has something to do with the xianxia, the fantasy drama, like ancient love poetry to Miles of Peach Blossoms, a lot of the stuff that you've seen in recent years. And it definitely comes from somebody who did think about it carefully. And it's not something that you will be directly be aware of just by watching a drama. You really need to compare stuff and think about it, and you're like, oh, okay, interesting, that point, actually. So, this is very interesting. If you watch ancient love poetry, right, you immediately, right from the beginning, it will tell you in this world setting, there are gods, there are yao, which is usually animal turned human, sort of like also having superpowers type of thing. And there are more, and there are different clans, like almost like species, right? And then they're grouped by their basically genetics, and they are either with each other or against each other. And pretty much every xianxia that you've seen in recent years have that world set up, starting with it, right? And then work from there. This actually is a foreign concept to traditional mythology in Chinese, which I wasn't so sort of consciously aware of it, but when I think about it, I realized, yeah, it's actually like that. It's a very imported Western idea. For example, if you look at Lord of the Rings, you have like, you know, the hobbits, right? The humans, the elves, all kinds of, and they are grouped together by who they are, right? This is very identity politics, really. But it's very funny and interesting because if you look at Chinese mythology, the superpower beings are all kinds of things. Some of them are like animal turned, like a dragon, or a snake, or a bird, and some are never really like that. They're just human form, and there never is a clear, right, way of separating those superpower beings. It's like you belong to that clan, I belong to that clan, and therefore we're either fighting or we're working together. And the entire god ranking system in the traditional mythology is also interesting. It's not okay, the reason that you become a god is because you kind of get a certificate or get official recognition, therefore you become Shen. But the actual power-wise, how much magical power, for example, I have, has nothing to do with that rank. So I could be super powerful, but I don't get the official sort of like going into a court and get you know, you are now the head of this bureau. You don't get that recognition. You are not a Shen. You're not ranked as a Shen, but you can be more powerful than them. And so the Xian, the often translated into fairy, is the type of, so they're all basically Xian. But then a lot of Xian don't get official positions in the heavenly court system. So they live in mountains. They have their own places. They're very they're like the hermits of the god realm. They're still powerful. They just don't get a job, really. And then you get a job and recognition. You become like, you go into the official book of something, but it doesn't make you more strong. And there is no clear sort of, just because you're all from, say, crane or phoenix, therefore all the phoenix are together as a group and all the cranes are together as a group, or all the other animal turned whatever are as a group. There's nothing like that. They live together, they're mixed together, and nobody really would process it as if you are a member of the phoenix, therefore you belong to that, and then you are against the member of the cranes. Like, it never works like that. So that is the native Chinese mythology world, where everybody just like are mixed together and nobody really think about others based on their whatever genetics, right? It really just comes down to how powerful you are. And then you can either, right, really get a recognition, like the 封神榜 idea of getting on that name list, but it has nothing to do with actually whether you're powerful or not. Isn't that interesting? So these days, if you look at Chinese fantasy dramas, like the ancient love poetry or others, it has pretty much completely adopted the Western narrative. And I think a lot of people do it unconsciously. They don't really realize they're doing it, and they don't really think about it. Actually is not from what's inherited from Chinese storytelling. It is an imported concept. It is the very Lord of the Ring kind of idea about groups and identities and that. Isn't that interesting? I think it's really deeply rooted in the culture, and people are not consciously aware of it most of the time. Yeah, so that's an interesting observation, and it has reflections in today's world. Because China as a country, as a civilization, it has always, for thousands of years, kept getting different people into its group, right? All kinds of ethnic groups coming from everywhere. And it made up this current China that are actually really, really like multi-ethnic groups. But nobody really think about the other person, identify them with their different ethnic group identity. Nobody is consciously aware of that. They're just like, we're all Chinese. Yeah, like we have like different, sometimes we look different, sometimes we have local culture and dialect all different, but nobody used that to first react to, oh, okay, you are a group of that people. And this is like a very, very Chinese thing. Whereas, you know, in a lot of other places in this world, the first thing people see is what is your group identity? What is your race, right? What is that? And then they cut that into, it cuts people into groups. And somehow it's supposedly that we're all competing for resources based on our identity. And think about that, like different ways of looking at the world. Very interesting. And it gets reflected in this story. So that person wrote this article and it was like, yeah, it really is very much like that. So when you look at the Chinese xianxia drama now, and know that they are very westernized concepts. They're not like, dial back 100 years and Chinese people wouldn't look at it this way. But then these days, right? So it also has the element of Western culture has a heavy influence on China, particularly contemporary China, because for the last, I'd say, from the 80s onwards to the 2000s, the Western culture has a much stronger power, right? It has more say in everything. So people just unconsciously adopt that. But now, right, now, you know, things change, and there's definitely awareness of that. It's like, yeah, let's think about what we've been doing for the last 2 decades or 3. And actually looking at it with an analytical mind and see what is going on. So I wonder when, you know, for the xianxia genre, we're gonna see a change in that. How many people are gonna be really become aware of what is going on and what has changed, and then what are the possibilities in the future. But this is a far more deeper thing than just, you know, what I usually make on my channel. It's like a dissertation stuff, really. I wasn't looking at the chat, so what are the things that are weird here? Okay, I'm just looking at the chat because people are typing really fast. And I'm not so good at reading at this speed. Oh, come on. My browser is too slow at doing stuff. Oh. Okay, let's see if we can... Yeah, the beauty of internet. Okay. I'm trying to load the chat, but it's getting weird on my end. I can't do anything. So bear with me for a bit. Love the internet. It is so slow at doing things. Oh, come on. I have a really weak computer that I'm doing a stream over, just because my normal working computer is upstairs, and upstairs the signal is not as good. So often if I'm streaming, it's gonna glitch. So okay. Is it possible for a Chinese speaker to follow all the subtitles at once? You mean the Chinese subtitles? Yeah. If you've been reading Chinese all your life, you can. Because you just recognize the shape, really. You see the shape and you know what it is. So Chinese is, so if you're reading the same amount of meaning, right, in written text, Chinese probably is one of the fastest language. Like in terms of looking at it as a chunk at once and getting most of the information, because the nature of the characters are like that. So I did talk a little bit about 仙侠. That is deeper than usual. You know, something to think about in the future when you start keep watching like this type of dramas, and then think about, you know, like where those things come from, and it makes it more interesting to watch. Then okay, what else can we talk about? Somebody asked about 选秀, talent and idol, that type of thing. It's probably gonna see a big dip in production, and I'm not sure whether we're gonna see next year. This year probably not anymore. Next year, you know, whether this whole thing is now officially at its end, because it's been crazy for a couple of years. Maybe, likely, we're seeing the end of it, and I think it's okay. Really, it's okay, because they have really, for the last, from 18 onwards to now, there have been too many shows from different platforms, and they pretty much have gone through the entire reservoir of the boys and girls that are out there in this type of training in China. So it has been sifted through really extensively, and if you keep throwing out that many shows every year, there really aren't gonna be that many people that are you know, good enough, really. And then this entire thing, it is being sugar coated with the idea of it is for supporting the young people's dreams of singing and dancing, but it's not. It's not. It's just capitals, the platforms, the big money groups behind it, mass producing the replaceable idols as products, so not as humans. And the reason being, it is cheaper to do that way to get more money back. Think about if you want to, you know, like nurture a great star, like Michael Jackson, or like in Chinese, you know, entertainment business, like somebody as iconic as Wang Fei. It is one of a kind out of millions of people, and it cannot be replaced. It cannot be repeated. You cannot have a mass producing system that you can keep chucking out people like that, right? It happens once or it doesn't happen. So for those platforms like iQIYI or Tencent, all those money companies, right? They just want return. I want to invest and I want to get 10%, 20%, 50%, 100% back. I just want money. And this kind of nurturing a big star is so not reliable. It's a gamble. So I don't want that. I want a safe production system that I can make mass producing a wave, another wave of idols that is purely because of the fandom they attract and the fans wanting to put money into whatever, and they use those people, right, as just investment, and that's it. So it has nothing to do with dream. It has nothing to do with passion. It's just a business for money. And everyone who's in the game knows it. So everyone kind of willingly, like if you want to play this game, you want to become an idol, you willingly basically objectify yourself. And you're like, yeah, I'm only here for 2-3 years. If I make it, I get big money, I get big popularity, but I'm gonna disappear in 2-3 years because new, replaceable new ones are gonna keep coming. But at least I'm in the game for that many, years, and I get what I want. It's better than not having anything. So it's a game that everybody agrees to play, so they go and play it. So when you think about that, it's really not worth putting your personal sort of passion and time and energy into this game where the people who are playing it are totally doing it for money. They are not doing it for any grand, great stuff. Obviously, they will say it is. They'll let, like, the slogan will be pretty, right? The coding will be pretty, but it's just a dirty money game. So that's why, fans are willingly getting harvested, but they all actually know what it is. Really, really. If you're in it, So everybody is shouting, 哇唧唧哇倒闭了, right? And you know that very famous line? Whenever there's a 哇唧唧哇 artist doing whatever, right? The fans in the big auditorium, in the big venue are just shouting, 哇唧唧哇倒闭了, 哇唧唧哇 is bankrupt. So if you see through this, right, I mean, you can still play a part in it if it makes you happy, for whatever reason. At the end of the day, you wanna, you like it, it's fine. But I think as long as you are very, consciously and rationally aware of this, you wouldn't get yourself too deep into it. And it's not worth investing your energy and time and too much personal, emotional energy into it, because you're gonna get disappointed, inevitably, because of what this is. Hi, thank you for your kohai, 1010 super chat. So many young idol actors have an official blessing. I'll have to wait and see. Because I don't have information, I can't make a decision or judgment on it. I can kind of feel for it, but who knows? Particularly the actor playing Xie Lian. He's in Falling Into Your Smile, but that drama is the script is like that. So whoever is in it, I doubt anybody can do a really good job anyway. So whether he can act or play this convincingly, we'll have to see the final thing that comes out of it. I know that drama also has many other supporting roles coming from the idol selection. Doesn't mean if they're from that, they can't act, right? This is look at people as individuals. And it's so early, right? They're right at the beginning of the production. They haven't even really released any official material, like shooting styling or whatever. They're only just doing I think table read and stuff like that. So too early to tell. We'll just have patience. We'll see in a month or two, more stuff coming out. And for this type of drama, it always is teamwork. It's never one person that's gonna change everything, You need a team, everybody. Luo Yunxi as Xie Lian. You can't make him act in every BL. He's gonna be no. Modu. Modu is ongoing. Zhang Xingcheng looks promising. Luo Wenzhou, the Fu Xinbo, makes me worried. Yeah, Chasing the Light is definitely something that I can't wait. I just want to see it now. There's one thing that I think this drama is special, not because it's the only sort of human contemporary story that has no fantasy element in it at all. This drama actually really took the troublesome route of shooting. They decided we're gonna actually film summer in summer and winter in winter. So that's why it's been stretched from last year to now, so that they can film the actual snowy winter of the northeastern China during the winter, and they break in the middle, and the actor goes and do other stuff, and they come back and shooting stuff that's in summer. So this is very rare. It means money, right? When you stretch the scheduling, it just means a lot of money issue, timing issue, management. Like the person who is in charge of the timing schedule is gonna have a huge headache of dealing with this type of scheduling. So at least it's trouble and money. So they are willing to put that much money and trouble into doing that drama. Gives me a little bit confidence is that they care about their story. They want to make it the best way possible. And honestly, Chasing the Lights leaked paparazzi photos are so good. Like they're better than like 99% of proper production shots I've seen from all kinds of dramas and films. Like the paparazzi team, whoever they are, right? That photographer is like these type of people need to be hired for real doing it. Like they're hiding, you know, behind layers and layers of things and using a huge, you know, like telescope lens, and they just shoot through cracks and shoot through those things. But wow, those photos are so good. I think because it's distant and they have to use certain, I think I'm breaking up, but because of that, those photos are like so cinematic, and it has stories. It's not people posing for the camera. It's like a captured real moment when the actors are working on not actually shooting but just talking, you know, on set. Anyone who's seen Chasing the Lights leaked photos must say like that they are better probably than the dramas. Banana go from ugly beauty. I'm not gonna have a video about my top dramas. If you look at my of this year, now I probably do it at the end of the year. But if you look at my reviews, you know, the couple of dramas that you know made an impact. Just count the numbers of how many videos I've made about what drama, you know, okay? It's like, it's too obvious. I am too partial. But I'm very honest, okay, about my partiality, is that a word? The Lim. The mountain people. The other day, I looked at some of my old, like some of the edits back in March and April and May, and I look at all my Billy videos. I was like, holy moly! Average out, I did like one video per 2.5 days for like 2 months. Like, how did I do that? It's like I was looking at how many videos I did. I was like, I did that? I did that? Really? What? Did I sleep? Did I eat? Did I have a life? Who did this? Who did this? I've made probably like under 30 videos, but definitely over 20. And then if you count all the hours I've live streamed here, and also on the Chinese, I've put it on Bilibili, but it's all in Chinese and it's only audio. I talk to other people. Over 16 freaking hours of live stream, that is audio live stream that I've done with 2 other content creators. So adding that 16 hours of talk onto the 4 streams I've done on Word of Honor, onto the over 20 videos I've done on Bilibili, onto the 7-8 videos I've made on YouTube, You're not looking at a normal person. I'm just saying. Okay. Has the one Guardian? Probably not, just because Guardian I did more. I did a book for Guardian that I only printed 11 copies in this world. I did 8,000 screenshot and color grading. 8,000, yeah. And I read the entire freaking novel and edited into an audiobook and put it online for free for people to listen. So that is definitely not happening for anything else. Don't want to do it again, it's too crazy. iQIYI has been doing that. iQIYI is really quick at moving ahead of everyone else in terms of making new exploration in making new stuff. Sweet Tongue, Light Tongue, probably they're gonna do more. And Mango is also this year trying to do short dramas, 8 episodes, 10 episodes, 16 episodes. They are working on throwing out more productions that are small. So they're definitely both are moving forward with what they do. The the stone in the toilet, in the poop, as we say in Chinese, is Tencent. They just want to copy the S plus mode, the popularity traffic mode that they think is gonna make them money, and because they have like the most amount of IP bought. They have all those stories sitting on their hand and they can just decide to go with whatever now. So they just want to grab who's the most popular. Does not matter if they fit the roles, doesn't matter if they can act, just grab them, put a team together. And they think they can, in that way, harvest the fandom, because no matter how shitty the drama ends up being, the fans of those popular actors and actresses are gonna be our free promotional army and free common control army. We don't even have to do anything. We just put these people on here, and even if the drama is crap, their fans are gonna go out and policing the internet and knocking down all the things people say bad about their production and whatever for free. That is Tencent's mode of operation. Let's see how far they can go with it. And with this type of strategy, right, when it avalanches, it's gonna be epic, okay? It's just, But they know what they're doing, and they just care about money, so. Okay, let's see what will happen for them. Not saying it's against any kind of law, you know? And they have money, they can decide to do, whatever they want to do. And we can decide not to give a shit to the crops they make. Falling to your smile controversy, yeah, it's fair that people hated it to that level. The story is long and there are many explanation videos in China. But the thing is, right, I've watched them, I understand where they're coming from, but personally, because I'm so not into gaming, I'm personally very, very unaware of its history and what it's referring to and why it makes people so angry. So even after I've watched all the videos, I kind of get the idea, okay, I see why. Like, if I were them, I'd probably get pissed too. But because I'm not, like, versed in it, and then if I have to do ground zero research into all the history just to verify that people are saying what they're saying is actually real, it's just too time consuming. I'd rather look at something that's good dramas, and yeah. So I don't think it's worth spending that much time So I'm not talking about the drama, not really watching it, and don't think I will do a video explaining what is going on. I know like a lot of people are watching it and probably will give the video a lot of clicks, but I want to do it responsibly because I think I need to go personally research if everything everyone is saying is right, but I don't have the time to do that. But some of the things that are quite well known about that original text is is a pretty common knowledge, and it didn't just happen yesterday. Ever since the drama was being made last year, it has already been like at that stage people are like, you're making this thing. No, they're already kind of going against the whole thing. And I totally understand why people would be so pissed about it. The ranking system is irrelevant. Don't need explanation. It's basically the platforms deciding for itself. So Youku decide what is my S plus, super plus, easy to understand, super plus plus, whatever, and A and B, right? So very easy to understand what that means, stand for. And the higher it goes, it gets more resource, that's it. Within, internally, so they say, this is S plus, so it's like a package. This is how they treat dramas. It's like an investment, it's like a package. So if we decide this is S plus, it probably gets the highest amount of, say, for example, we have a budget for making posters. Go and ask for a graphic design company to do all the posters. If you're A level, you get, say, 100,000 package RMB to do all the posters. And that's only the amount of money this drama is gonna get. But if it's S plus, maybe it's 500,000. Okay, so for the designing of the posters alone. And then music, what team we're gonna go and what we're gonna go for, all the resource level. So basically within the platform, Youku, iQIYI, Tengxun, Mango, they self, when they're doing the project, decide what level is this, right? How much money I put in. So the higher it goes, usually it means a bigger IP, bigger stars, more well-known stars, and a higher sort of return, investment return that in their at least expectation, that's it. And it's only within their own organization. So it doesn't mean if it's S plus, it's gonna be a good drama. Usually it's actually a crappy drama because when you get S plus, it means a big IP that was bought with a lot of money, or the original novel had a lot of popularity. Therefore they go for the traffic actors to act because they wanna cut the fandoms stuff, right? So often it ends up being, and it happens often to be the smaller projects, the A and the B, the ones that gets least amount of resources, casting the unknown actors, but who act for real, that actually turn out to be better productions. Irony. So when it says S plus, right, it's actually a warning sign. It's actually a warning sign. You have to look at who are the actors, who are the directors, producers, companies. Sometimes it's still really good ones, okay? You really have to think, like, look at their previous working profiles, what they've made in their history, what type of production they usually do, and then you can gauge. You have to almost like narrow it down to specific people to kind of guess what kind of production it's gonna end up being. And within the platform themselves, when they say it's S plus, it means nothing. It has no guarantee about the final result. And that's, sad situation. IP intellectual property. So Marvel IP, Tony Stark is an IP, Spider-Man is an IP. You get the idea, right? I'm gonna go away for 2 minutes and I'll be back, okay? I'm back. It's an hour. Okay, so pretty good. I think today should be able to wrap it into. You are my glory. I've already said about that at the very beginning of this stream. I'm very neutral to it, and my expectation of it is as long as it doesn't fail epically, you know, I'd be happy. I have no high hope for it, honestly speaking. To be cruel and honest. It is a very... when you look at a trailer, it's just a romantic drama, contemporary romantic drama, that's it. About two very good-looking people falling in love, and they happen to be. One working in the space industry of China, the other is a big star. Yeah, what are the chances of that actually happening in real life? If you know, for people who work in that industry, unlikely, but... who knows? Let's say if summer, if August is possible for that drama to come out. The thing is, if it doesn't come out in summer, then not even maybe this year. Because later this year wouldn't be the best time. It totally depends on. Hao Yixing, where are you? You know, 杀破狼, where are you? Go, 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 go. Lost Tomb. Which one? The one that's coming out soon? The my brain is not working today. Yeah, The Lost Tomb is coming, the new one, with a totally different cast because of this IP has been sold to too many people. Hi, Jade Ward. Thank you for your super chat. Yeah, it's coming out on 11th or 12th, very soon. And a total new 张起灵、吴邪、胖子. We shall wait and see. That's it. See if it works. I highly doubt it's gonna be as successful as Ultimate Note. Highly doubt. Okay. So just keep your expectation at a minimum level so you don't get disappointed. Didn't finish Long Ballad. No. I think it's an old drama, right? A couple of years ago. I watched the beginning of it, I remember, and I was, the plot is weird. I left. I think that's my impression of it. Didn't she, like, lose her, like, father or something right at the beginning? And I can't remember even exactly what happened. I just had the impression that something is really ridiculous, so I quit. Maybe we're talking about the same thing or not. I can't quite be sure about that. Hi. Purse, thank you for your super chat. If you could write, produce, direct the drama, what would it be about and who would you? I don't know. I probably write something that's wild. It's totally not like as weird as it can get, but probably wouldn't pass censorship. It probably will involve aliens. And as satirical and ironic and nonsensical as it can go. And then it will not be made. And also, like, casting is like, it depends on what story I write. There are people who are more suitable for story, and usually you have an idea, right? Who would be the best? And there's no person out there who can do everything. Honestly, no actor can do all ranges. That's impossible. Then I wouldn't kill people. Like, if you like long ballads, totally fine. Like, you can say you like any drama that I've dissed like hell about, and it's totally fair. Okay. Like I always say, I am limited with my personal filters, and I recognize that. And there's no way that I can jump out of it. I don't have the ability. I'm stuck in one human body. Okay. Before I reach enlightenment, that's gonna be the situation. Unlikely to be able to totally get rid of that. You know, the age, the like where I grew up, what kind of stuff I learned when I was little, what kind of stuff I've watched and listened to, cultural background, language, gender, everything plays into that final filter of what I consider to be crap and what I consider to be good. and you know, and then genetics, because some people cannot deal with, for example, coriander. Do you know that coriander has a smell that is its chemical compound has this thing that some people just cannot deal with. They die at like it kills them. It makes them go crazy. It's like, this stinks. Like, how can you eat it? But for other people who would not be bothered by it at all, and they will like it like hell. So you have two people who hate, one hates coriander, the other loves it. And it's valid for either of them to say that. Because they have their personal filters, they can't get rid of it. So, just have full confidence in what you like, and it's valid, okay? You don't need validation from other people at all. And like I said, at the end of the day, it's just dramas. As much as I want to say what I love is so important to this world and too important to me for sure, but I know in the reality of the world, there are far more important things. And things we all depend on, without which we will all be dead. So without that, we won't even be able to tell stories and make dramas. So I know there's the hierarchy of things, right? There's an importance, there's a foundation of... And for this type of entertainment stuff, it's on the top. It's like the stuff that's sprinkled on, right? It's like, if you have good ones, yes, it's great. It's great, but it's not essential to survival. And there are always more fundamental important things that need to be there first. Then we can talk about other things. So, at the end of the day, it's just a drama. It's not that important at all. Yeah, the thing is yeah, but it's personal preference, the coriander thing. It's because you have the DNA, therefore, you know, it works on you and it doesn't work on other people who doesn't have it. So it's still personal preference. It is to do with that specific genetic makeup you have. Also, it's like some people have the asparagus pea and some people don't. Like, they smell it or not. It's also, you know, like, what can you do? It's just what it is. Oh, and also allergy is funny, because you know, like for example, in China, hardly ever hear anybody who is allergic to sesame or peanuts. But for example, in Britain or in the USA, many people die at just touching the skin of a peanut, like if they don't get you know, the pen. So the world is a crazy place. Stalking fans is a problem in China. There are problems everywhere. Think about what happened to a couple of very famous, well-known artists in the entire world. They literally get killed by crazy fans. So, it's a human condition. China happens to be a country with a lot of people, so proportionally speaking, it also has not many psychos in it. You know, like at 4 times the population of the USA, so theoretically 4 times the number of psychos. What can you do? Someday or one day. It's good. It's good. And then I think they're making a film of it too. Hopefully it's as good. Uncle Roger. MSG, right? He's like, add MSG to egg fried rice. Okay, I've got messages. Let me just quickly look at it. Really? Swallow. I know, like I just saw your Discord. You're watching my live and Word of Honor at the same time. Okay. You definitely have a very capable multitasking brain. Flaming Heart just started, so yeah. I only watched about 2 episodes before I sat down making this, so too early to tell. I think they shoot the whole thing was shot at a real fire station. With that quite like a futuristic white corridor. Because at the beginning I was like, is this like what kind of set design would do that? And then I was told, I cannot confirm, okay? I was told in the live comments, it's a real fire station. It's a new one that they've built. And it looks like that. I'm like, okay, cool. Making it so white. There's one good thing about it being so white is if you stand inside and film, you don't need any reflective board. You don't need polyboards. You don't need stuff. Because the light would just reflect onto the actor, making them look very, very, you know, like well lit and smooth. What is that? Lawn mower? Yeah, I think there's something going on. Yeah. Okay. So you might hear the noise of the motor. Chris Wu scandal. Too many idol and stars have too many scandals. It's just like, yeah, normal. Just having a string of girlfriends who are all pretty much like the same age group and looking pretty much the same. I was like, yeah, you have a very consistent style at least. Or type, you know, preference. You know, as long as people don't go around and really commit crimes, you know, who are you to judge about anything? If you may say, oh, yeah, that's, but then it's expected. For the 515 people somehow watching my stream, thank you for coming, and also, you know, just acting like an old granny here. Just my suggestion and advice for everybody is 不要真情实感的追星, okay? Do not use 真情实感 to chase after the stars. Do not use your real love and emotion to chase after the stars. Always leave a little bit space for yourself. Most of the people that are glamorous and beautiful and ideal and super good looking and you think they're perfect in front of the camera, right? Whether doing events, in dramas, in films, whatever. You be aware that they're acting themselves. They're either acting the characters they are doing for the drama, or they're acting the image that is called their name. That is a brand that needs to be maintained and sold. And they're aware of it, and everyone in the industry knows it. And it's nothing wrong, it's just a part of it, but it's never the reality. Like Avenue X, who is sitting in front of the camera and doing this live stream. I'm acting Avenue X. I don't look like this when I'm not in front of the camera. I'm usually shit-faced and not putting makeup on. And I just stare at the screen and sit in the most unelegant position you can imagine, with my leg up and then ranting about shit stuff. What the fuck is this fucking script? Who wrote this moronic thing? That's me. Yeah, realistically speaking. I dress up for camera, you know, so like, even for somebody like me who is just like, you know, I'm not a celebrity, imagine them, like, their hairs are perfect, right? They're made up, and what they can say and cannot say is decided by what events they're at, what brand they are speaking for, what kind of event this is, what their manager has told them, blah 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 blah, okay? And what they have in mind for themselves as the public image they play. And you always see that side. You don't see them, you know, like swearing and picking their nose. So yeah, don't fantasize it too much. Usually it will end up in disappointment. And also the reality of that industry is, a lot of the things that got exposed that people are like very shocked about, either they do like private life, the very conduct is very questionable, or they literally go against the law. For example, drugs is a huge thing in China. It's very strict. It's one of the strictest places in this world about dealing with drugs and stuff. Pretty much everything that you can do happily, comfortably in the United States will end up in jail, right? So when it gets out, right, people are shocked. Wow, this star does this, that star does this. But it's just because it got out. The honesty about it is, particularly in this industry, most of the people that you think, oh, they will never touch that, have touched it and probably are still touching it. and it just depends on if they get exposed. And within the industry, all right, a lot of people know who is doing what, but everybody has other people. They have other people's little in their hand, right? They have each other's in their hand. So if you go out and try to expose somebody, then you are at risk of your own secret gets dug out. So it's pretty much like a nuclear warhead situation where everybody holds the warhead to destroy each other so they don't do anything. And occasionally something happens that made the news go out and destroys a certain person. But what you don't see is always much bigger. It's like the iceberg situation. What is on top and what is much bigger below, right? So if that is like something that you can't deal with, which is like, oh, I can't have like some idol or whatever, people that I admire to actually do this and do that and quite unthinkable things, then most likely you're gonna get disappointed. I've seen firsthand of people who have the best kind of reputation, yeah, who are what they are actually like in life, and it's like everybody does it. And you're like, okay, me. So keep your expectation reasonable, really. And a lot of them literally are just sitting there and just like, those fans are so stupid. It's so easy to fool them, to make that image and then to make them go like, they will work for me, like my army. A lot of people are like that too. And obviously you will never see that. And you don't want that to be the person, the particular one you like. But the unfortunate truth is a lot of people are like that. And I wish you would never find out. It's better that you just don't know. Also, the better thing is always keep that in mind so that you don't go crazy. Like you don't like invest too much and at your own cost. There are a couple of smaller companies that do really good jobs, but with smaller companies, like Daylight is a big company, right? It has it established. With smaller, it's hard for them to struggle through it. Sometimes they have to do things for money, and it's not always what they want to do, right? Like the 小糖人 is pretty good. The little sugar, what's their, the company that did Hikaru no Go. You know, like those companies, there are a couple that are good, but they can't guarantee every drama comes out of it is gonna be good, because like I said, if it's too small, it gets swayed by too many things. There's no official position of like, people still don't understand. If you listen to Western media about what they say about China and who runs it and how it works, and like CCP is some kind of magic that holds over everybody and they decide everything, you have no idea. That means you don't understand China at all. No, there is no magical Big Brother CCP floating everywhere to look at people and decide what happens to you. You know, it doesn't work like that. And also, like, there's no official position, let's say, of that on gay people. The thing is, it's a big, let's say it's a big cultural, societal atmosphere you feel, and censor happens sometimes not because top down said anything, because people self-censor. For example, if I'm a platform, like Weibo, okay, or whatever, first I have money behind me. There are a couple of shareholders always pulling what is the official position of me on anything. And then I want to risk avoidance. So if anything that may actually get my platform or anything into trouble, affecting me getting the money or whatever, I'd rather cut it down than say, figure out the details about what is allowed and what is not allowed. So it becomes a very complicated issue of the different powers playing into the part who decides what is able to be talked about and what is not. So on the outside, on the public platforms, obviously, a very openly saying those things definitely would not work. Mostly it impacts your commercial viability. It's like if you come out as a gay actor or whatever and just say it is, then a lot of the brands, right, personally, for example, the owner of the brand or whatever, they may not have any problem with you. But the thing is, if I use you as a spokesperson, right, it may get me, like, I'd rather have somebody who's 100% safe than run any type of risk at this. So it really needs the entire society's opinion on this thing to shift, to eventually say at the point where nobody cares about it, nobody gives a shit. It's like, gay or not, whatever, like orientation is like, nobody is like, so what? Like, it doesn't affect anything. It needs the entire general public's perception of that to change, to say if it becomes eventually irrelevant. But that's a very slow process, and there are many things that are important at the same time. So what gets dealt with first and second is also a very complicated question. Needs a lot of clever people to figure out, right? And always there are more threatening problems that comes onto the top of the list than this. But privately, particularly in entertainment business, it is just so common that nobody would look at somebody. If like within like within actors, within like people know, this person, yeah, their orientation is this, this. They don't talk about it openly, because if it affects this person's commercial viability, it is really 夺人钱财如杀人父母, right? If you take money away from them, if you block their way of getting money, it's like killing their parents. That's the idiom. It's destroying their livelihood. And if you do that, you're gonna get yourself into similar revenge too. So nobody go out and do it to other people. So it becomes an unspoken rule. But within the industry, privately between actors, it's people are wild, and there's nothing weird about it really, because traditionally China never was really on that, because there's no religious aspect of this is not allowed, forbidden, it never is. So if you look at Chinese history and literature, there's a lot of homosexual stuff going on all the time, and people are not separating it from heterosexual, and all kinds of spontaneous romantic relationship in traditional Chinese culture is kind of shunned, because traditionally marriages are arranged. Parents decide what the children get. The children, like you personally, have no say about who is your husband or wife. So it has nothing to do with really like the homosexual heterosexual idea. It has to do with who has the right to decide who inherits the family, who gets paired with whom, and that entire property transfer going on. So if you want to say the traditional Chinese struggle with individual and their relationship is spontaneous love versus arranged, or what we call 繁殖恋, reproduction relationship. Because getting married is for having children, and it's all about the concept of having descendants, right? If you don't have descendants, you like, it's the biggest shame you can bring onto your ancestors. So it's not man and woman, or man and man, or woman that is a big problem. That it is having children, legal children, that oversteps everything. So traditionally in the society it's like that, and then these days, right, in entertainment business, people, because in art community people are usually the most sort of forefront kind of conceptually about what is acceptable. Yeah, so between actors, and it's so common, like if you are gay or whatever, people are like, yeah, fine, I know that person is, it's fine. And they're wild, and they're very open privately about these things, and no problem, but keep it under wrap, publicly, or just playing the game. It's a weird, subtle balance going on, and obviously we would hope that one day it will become publicly also. It's just like, oh yeah. Because honestly, it's not such a big deal within this industry's people. In their life, it's already pretty, like, no problem. It's just not openly sort of recognized. But not saying in the society at large, it is yet a very well accepted thing. Likelihood is, if you're younger and you're well educated, you are living in a more advanced big city, and you're much more exposed to what is going on in the world, you're more likely to have a very open mind about it. And then the further you go to the more remote places, going down the education level, the proportion of people not accepting it gets higher and higher. And older generation usually much more traditional about this type of thing than the younger generation. That's the average thing. So your experience about it is totally dependent on, I guess, like your immediate circle. Like for my immediate circle, nobody has a problem with it. But not saying other people have the same kind of experience. advanced but bravely. It's not. I don't think it's because of that actor didn't. He's not an actor. He's a model. He can't quite act that well. You know, like even if it has nothing to do with the BL or literal the 柴鸡蛋 story, even if it has nothing to do with that, you know, like if you can act properly in front of a camera is important. Yeah, sexism, discrimination against women. Misogyny is a beautiful word. Misogyny is a beautiful word that gets used in all kinds of weird ways in China. And in places that you can't imagine. And in dramas, you know. Just look at how generally women and female characters are portrayed in Chinese dramas. Makes your blood boil. And history does move forward in the spiral fashion. So I'd say in the 60s, 70s, 80s China, it's actually a much more equivalent sort of gender thing than today. These days, because of the economy has gone up so much, actually there's a, you see the retrograde of things, right? But then it will move forward again, and it just, well, we shall see how it moves. Yeah, that is too complicated a problem for Avenue Access to to discuss on the drama channel. Yeah, so far this year, the best female character in any dramas in China. You know what I will say, right? Mingning Town, 水花. That's a good female role. Well written, very fair and just. It's 10 times better than those fake female CEOs or those sweet moronic young girls that dramas make women out to be. Okay. Oh yeah, women hating women. The 雌竞 idea, right? The female competition idea. Totally disgusting. So disgusting. Like yeah. It's everywhere in China. And a lot of dramas make, like the classic setup is the female lead and female second. There's that female competition going on for the attention of the leading man. I haven't done any research. I don't know which actress is more popular among the gay and lesbian community. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, that probably needs some research. Yeah. Okay. Wow. We're here for an hour and a half now. So I know this live stream probably is a little bit too early, because if I do it next week, I couldn't have known. They have decided to throw out all the dramas. Literally yesterday, I saw like 4 announcements of new dramas coming out next week. So I'm like, yeah, okay, fine. I'm here too early, okay, to talk about stuff, because a couple of new dramas are coming out, but they're just coming out now and in the next couple of days. So we can't talk too much about what's going on, because June had a lot of really crappy stuff. Hopefully July will give us more better dramas. My hope. And summer holiday, can we just like pray for one freaking BL out of the entire huge reservoir of stuff that are ready? Hao Yixing is ready. Sha Po Lang has been second edited, I think. It could come out too. Shanhe Biaoli has wrapped the Guardians of the Mountain and River. Just wrapped yesterday. I'm not sure how that one is gonna turn out. Modu is still in the making. Duomeng is wrapped. Chasing the Light probably is at the very end. I think it's gonna wrap any day now. Yan Yan Bai has long wrapped. What else? 天官赐福 just started. Haven't really started filming yet. Can we just get one? I'm just saying, one. Oh, come on, for summer. Come on. Is it? My Glory is coming out? Really? They just said that? I have no idea. We shall wait and see. Has it been announced? Yeah, Immortality has a big budget. It's true. It's Taizi's drama. It cannot be cheap. Do you know his nickname? Chen Feiyu. That is his nickname in China. His crown prince of the entertainment business, thanks to his daddy and mommy. But you know, have to wait till it comes out. Too early to tell. It's not idols who want to be actors. It's they are made out to be idols to get the fandom's money, and their company decides, you know, throwing you into a drama will make you more popular, will get more money from your fandoms. They are just chess pieces in the money's hand. Looking at idols as products, as not human, okay? That's how they're treated in the industry anyway. And so if you see any of their business arrangement and what they get to play and what they do, you know, it's all for them. How to get the fandom's money. That's the end goal, is money. Whatever is the most profitable thing, they do. That's it. Nepotism, yeah, sure. Best friend story, I watched a couple of episodes, couldn't continue. It's written also as a very floaty story. It has very little bearing on reality of things. Mao Zijun and Zhang Yao, right? Yeah. I have a secret hope for that drama to get really good and popular, but I'm still worried about it. It really is like the Word of Honor, even less kind of level of investment drama that is like so poor and cheap, and you want underdog to come out shining, but yeah. I am very torn about that production, the story of the bat, in terms of I have very strong internal argument. One side is like, yeah, it's unlikely to be a really good one. The other is, but I really want it to be a good one. Wild Blood Zhao Liying. Yeah, that rumor has been going on for 2 years now, I think. Don't know if it's gonna turn out to be true. We should wait for the 幸福 story first, though. That drama. We need that drama to come out first. More realistic to expect that drama airing. It's already half a year since Spring Festival. She said it's all done, you know. Older Chinese dramas are definitely in my plan, but I need to find the perfect time, like I said, and how I bring that out. And what is better is it's tied up with what's going on now. It will be more interesting instead of just airdrop it. And the other day I was actually going through the 90s and 2000s dramas, and I was like, yeah, how am I gonna categorize them and put them in a drama to talk about them? It's a little bit difficult, not so easy. So I have to figure out the best way to do. But I do want to talk about some old dramas that are so much better than today's crap. The only no good thing about them is they're too old. They're not HD. They're not subtitled. They have very poor sets and terrible, let's say, costumes and stuff. But acting, story writing, pacing, so much better than today's watered down crap of Chinese drama land. Have you counted how many dramas you have watched this year? No, I'll probably do that at the end of the year. It's not gonna be a very nice number. In terms of like looking like a normal human's level of consumption. It's just gonna get weirder and weirder every year, I think. Last year was like over 40, 50, I think. This year, I don't know. Huge is big, but it doesn't mean it's not stupid stuff, right? Like, have you seen the trailer of the Blossom? It's definitely like a classy production with a very well-known director, but it doesn't guarantee it's gonna be a successful drama. It's not an experimental film, you know. If Wang Jiawei likes to do a film, cinematic film, that you don't quite know what's going on, but it kind of looks interesting, it works for the form that's called cinema because of what cinema is. But you can't just directly transplant that into the drama land and say it's definitely gonna work. Particularly this type of style of almost stream of consciousness and very artsy, stylistic stuff often runs into a brick wall in the drama land. So for that Huge drama, right, we shall wait and see how it's gonna turn out. Doesn't mean it's gonna be 100% safe. You know, I am a little bit worried about Wang Jiawei doing a drama, because drama is different from film. So different, really. So we have about, like let's say I'll be here for another half an hour or 20 minutes or something. So you can type out stuff and I'll try to catch people's questions, but don't think I will be able to answer it. And I said there's going to be a giveaway, so at this stage I should say that. Before I go, I'm gonna go through. I'm gonna quickly run through the person's names in this live chat. Thank you. How do I pronounce your name, lovely person who just gave me 20 euros for super chat? I don't want to butcher your name. Thank you. So I'm gonna do a $50 gift card, but you pick. Okay, so it could be Amazon gift card. It could be, I don't know, if you have a particular shop that is possible for me to get you a $50 gift card, you can let me know, or my shop, like, it's all fine. So I'm gonna scroll through at the end of this stream about and pick a person randomly. Okay. I was thinking, like, what should I be giving? And I was like, yeah, just give money. Come on, be frank and honest. Money is the easiest thing. They can decide what they want. So $50. Amazon or mine or any really like possible platforms for me to buy it will be given to a person. Yeah. That's my very looking very insincere and random giveaway. So practical. Yeah, I'm a Chinese. It runs in my blood. It's like pretty much just like problem solver and practical mind. It's like, yeah, okay, we're in this situation. What's the things to do? Okay, step 1, step 2, get it done. Good. solve the problem first. Stop like debating it for like 5 years before you make up a plan. That's me. And that's like 90% of Chinese people are like, yeah, but first let us just solve it, okay? Stop the chatting about what is like supposedly correct or what is the ideology behind it. It's like, get down, like do it. Shipping RPS. Personally, I'm not a big RPS shipper. I just don't. It doesn't work on me. Like most of the RPS, I'm like, yeah, but in reality, they're probably not like that. Or, you know, like, yeah, but I am not a big shipper. Some people are really, really into RPS. You know, no judgment here. You do whatever you like. But personally, I'm never big into it. I'm much more into the actual the characters, the two-dimensional people, and a lot of that charisma of those like or chemistry only works in this fictional setup. Once you bring out the real two person into reality, it's just no longer the same thing. So personally, it doesn't work with me. Like sometimes I look at people's drawings and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, cute, wow, very talented. Or sometimes it's like, yeah, I see that coming. But then I will never go and do that. Like I won't draw or do a RPS edit because it just like it doesn't work on me. And like, yeah, but I don't believe it. This practical and skeptical person about the messiness of reality and how undefined it is and how effed up it is and how most likely you are disappointed at the end of it person. I have high ideals, I'd say, but then I'm very, very practical about things. I'm a little bit polar in that sense. And life is just not like you want to make it really orderly and easy to interpret, and you want to make people, you know, like you want to make them very easy to for you to, okay, this is a good person, that is a bad person, but no, people are just so messed up most of the time, and life is so effed up. I refrain from trying to simplify anybody into a tag or a version that I think would be ideal, because yeah, it's kind of silly. Recently, I've just heard yesterday actually I found out something about a friend of mine I've never met, but I know this person on the internet for a while. Yeah, about something that is very dramatic. Like, if you write it into the script, they will say it's a bad script because it's so f***ed up. But it's true. And it involves very young children getting impossible to cure brain tumor. And I was like, oh, that is so fucked up. But it happens to real people, and it's like worse than dramas. And I was like, speechless, you know? So the actual complexity of life and the messiness of it makes me, yeah, but I don't believe in that, you know? It's like RPS or any of those things, and it's like, life is so much more effed up than this, so. And this kind of thing, it's just so, sometimes you think about what's going on with real people, and often they have things that are just like incredible. And to each and every individual, they have something that nobody will know that is just insane. But you think that is going on, and that's just like one side of life, and everything else is like, and then you think about like you just romanticized something, right? And yeah, it's just so, in comparison, it's just so inconsequential, basically. Thank you for Bliss Beauty and Glitter. I know this account name. I've seen it before. Thank you for your super chat. Have I produced? No, I'm not that. Producing means you have to first be in the game. And it's a lot of responsibility and a lot of money. Like, how does that money end up in your hand and for you to decide something, right? You almost need the right entry point. And for somebody like me who is not, I don't have any connections in terms of that comes with me, like my parents, any of that. A lot of people within this industry are referenced, and they do it because they know this person, that person, this person in their life that are doing this. So if you're not in that circle to begin with, it's hard. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's hard. It needs, like, if you happen to be at the right place, the right time, doing the right job, and then you end up being able to do it. You can't just walk into anywhere and say, I want to produce a drama, you know. So waiting for the right opportunity to come. But if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. It's fine. Okay, just looking at what people are typing. Death Note. I know this. I think I've watched 1 or 2 films in that IP. Japanese one, right? Quite old. I remember the names, but in Chinese. I don't know how to pronounce that in Japanese. New generation short dramas, like newly episode. Not sure what that is. The new generation. I think Retro Detective. Yeah, I wonder when it's coming out. Seemingly very interesting concept of somebody kind of like is out for years and comes back and still have the young body but old mind, and then go solve cases. And the paired up police actor with Zhang Zhehan is the actor from Trident. Looking very interesting. I wish that's a good one. Can't wait. I want to see that one. Yeah, honestly. I just remembered something. Did people notice Mao Buyi, the singer? He sang the ending song for Ancient Love Poetry and many other songs. You probably know him. Did anybody notice he changed his way of singing this year? Like, the voice quality has significantly changed in, say, Ancient Love Poetry than his previous songs. I don't know if anybody noticed that. This year when he sang, I almost didn't recognize it. Like, the first few lines was like, yeah, nice voice, but who is that? And then I was like, is that Mo Wei? I was like, what did he do? He really changed his way of singing. I don't know how many people noticed that, but I was like, I wonder what happened. It either is he changed his way of singing, or post-production did quite a lot of tweaking, or I don't know, because for singers, right, if their voice changed significantly, either they changed technique, or they may have something with their vocal cord that they did something so it changes its quality. It could happen too. I don't know what happened to him, but he yeah, the way he sounds like is like very different now. He used to be much, he sound much deeper, like the male sound of it, particularly in the high notes range. The sound that comes out of here and very thick voice now has been has been becoming much more. It's not nice. It's still beautiful, but it's different. I almost didn't recognize it's him. Yeah, weird. I don't know what happened. Anybody who knows about that? But he's great. He's such a great talent. I'm fine with like this. I like listen to it long enough, you can tell it's him, but it definitely has a big shift happening. I don't know why. There's an anime that's from Tencent. That's pretty nice. I've watched 4 episodes of it, and it's the 卷思量, the island of Siliang. Very beautiful. Like the 3D modeling of skin and eyes and people is like, wow. Oh, okay, this is the level that we are getting these days, hey? And the hair, very good. But I'm worried because the first season is only 15 episodes, and I doubt they're gonna get to any important part of the plot. They probably like get to the first stage of the epic sort of like the plot like peak of it, and then they end it, and you don't know when is the second season coming. You don't know when the second season coming. Maybe next year, maybe even later. Who knows? And so for this type of animation, it's just already you're seeing a future long stretch that may end nowhere. If the script crashes halfway, if the investment goes away, it doesn't get made, or if it happens like Game of Thrones, like the last season, just like cliff diving from Everest, right, to the deepest ocean trench. So I'm a little bit worried. I'm already holding back. I'm already holding back at this point. I'm like, yeah, if I invest too much time and energy into it, it may all just end up being nothing. Like the 9 years long marathon I had with Game of Thrones, and I don't want that. So I was like, already putting a cap on it, and I'll just wait until first season runs finish till last episode 15, and then we shall see what happens. See, I'm already self doing that because I've been taught by the entire years of experience. It's like, yeah, don't put your hope up high. Linglong, yeah, Linglong too, yeah. 卷思量 looks nice. The model of people are really pretty. Everyone is so good looking. Like, yeah, that's better than any real actor you're gonna get. Well, I doubt if this is a successful IP and they make it into live action, they can find equally interesting looking people. I know some people are watching the island of Siliang. Not that many people yet, but it has potential. It's beautiful. It's really, really, really beautiful. Do I agree with the statement of all drama starting with legend and somehow, right, it has a weird curse on it. I hope there will be one that breaks that. It seems to be like that. Also, a lot of dramas that starts with the leading character's name end up being crap. Somebody's legend, somebody's story, right? Somebody's biography or something like that. Yeah. Like, alarm. I haven't seen Thousand Autumn. I'm not a big anime watcher. I only clicked into 卷思量 because a lot of people are saying go and watch it. Like and the other day I just happened to have time, so I was like, okay, looking nice. I just clicked into it, and it's very short. Their episodes is like less than 30 minutes per episode. Zhenhuan has its very important, let's say, position in the entire genre of dramas it is, for sure. But a lot of its things, we can argue about its its long-term impact on a lot of things. First, it definitely is a harem drama, so it's all about the female competition, and it gets tiring. Also, it's all about the women sort of fighting for the. I mean, it's reality of a particular time, but it has a dramatized version of it, and it has nothing to do with history too. So, it situate itself in a real dynasty that had real people, but then the story are not really that historically accurate anyway. And because it's based on a novel that is not a historical novel at all. So the complicated thing with that is, and it started this wave of popularity of another wave, I'd say, because earlier it was TVB. It was 金枝玉孽, the TVB series that got really popular, the Qing court concubines fighting drama, and then it's this one, and it led to a lot of productions. And then it eventually led to a restriction on this type of stories, right? So in its historical milestone kind of value and meaning, it has more than just the drama's sort of importance. But we can argue about, what part of it is good and what part of it is questionable or problematic. So 甄嬛传 is very special, I'd say, yeah. And some parts of it is really good, but some parts of it, yeah, don't take it seriously. Day of Becoming ending. Depending on if I'm doing a final review, I'm still thinking whether I should be doing it. It's pretty much like what I said at the first one. I think it didn't disappoint. It certainly didn't crash later, and I'm happy with what I end up with. But the ending, I'm okay with it. But I don't think it's necessary. Realistically, why do you have to put that into it's actually a fiction written by the female lead character, Even if you don't do that, it's a story within the story, it doesn't really change anything. It kind of, probably it just adds a little bit commentary. It's more almost like from the drama writer, the script writer. They want to inject themselves into the story. They want to show up, quotation mark, in the story to comment on what they've just written. So they made this ending, but it doesn't really do much to the story itself. Without that, it's still totally fine. So I wonder what is the purpose of doing that, right? It doesn't really do much, but then it's not too problematic, I'd say. So I'm like, yeah, fine. I don't have a huge problem with it, but I certainly don't think it's like, wow, this is unexpected. This is like a great twist at the end of the whole thing. It's still like, yeah, but you don't have to do it. It doesn't add much. Worst Chinese drama. I don't know which is the worst. There are a lot bad ones. How many dramas do I watch a day? Depends. Sometimes I don't watch anything for a day. Because I just don't want to watch. Well, 天官赐福, if it's 60 episodes, it's possible because 天官赐福 has a lot of things going on in its original story. It's pretty long and draggy. It's like a long road movie with a lot of other people's subplot injected in. And the main character's past life story keeps getting flashbacks, right? So if you want to actually film every little thing that is actually in the book, 60 episodes may be okay. It has a lot of things. But I doubt they'd be able to film everything that's in the deal. And then it's just announced as 60. It could be much less when it comes out for real. Joy of Life, starting production or kind of already in the move. But they probably film it later this year. And that's all I know. They're not limited to 36, although they're encouraged to be under 40. But it's not a strict rule, right? It's not 100% say you can't go over. But you do see shorter dramas coming out these days than, let's say, the last couple of years. Do I look tired? I don't think so. It may just be my Graves eyes that always looks tired. I think the photos of me before 2010 looks like a different person. Like the mouth is still the same, the nose pretty much is still the same. Outline of the face didn't really change much, but here, different person. So facial recognition, right? If they have data of me 12 years ago or something, they will not be able to read me now. Yeah, my eyes are very peculiar. So if they look weird and tired, they always look like this. It's called its physical structure is weird. Therefore, it will just never look 100% normal. And it's fine. Who cares? Okay, so I'll stay for another 10 minutes. Okay, it's already past that. And then we'll call it a day. Thank you for already. I thank you for the 400, 500 people who are here today. We have some very noisy months and we have some very quiet months. That's fine. C'est la vie. Flaming Heart, it depends on, probably, but I'll watch a couple more. And Flaming Heart is being aired at such a weird schedule. You know, it's like Youku cannot decide whether they should cut the fandom's money or whether they should prolong its existence, therefore getting more traction. It's like Youku is schizophrenic about how it want to air it. So it gives out a weird schedule, about 5 episodes a week. And on 2 days, it's 2 episodes. On 1 day, it's 1 or something. And then for starting next week, they already start the VVIP, which is if you pay money, you watch next week's episode before everyone. And it's a short drama. I'm like, come on. You are so... Make up your freaking mind. And I've recently talked to a Youku person in a very unhappy conversation, and at the end of it, I'm just like, yeah, fuck it, you know. The working for a big capital monopolizing company thing is it's a very interesting thing these days in China, because you know what just happened, right? 100 years anniversary, and the international, you know, the song is running around in China, and a lot of young people these days are very, very hyper aware of a lot of monopolizing capital powers in China, and people are very unhappy about it. So that includes all the major platforms in China, Tencent, Youku, iQIYI, all that. They have like big money backing them. And so for a normal person who works at their organization, right, it's funny to see like some people very much internalize the idea that comes from the top down, these capital big giant companies, and but at the same time, because I had a conversation right around like July the 1st, which is the 100-year anniversary. And when I was having a conversation with that person, right, I first have to cut it like in half. It's like, I know this person works for it and he is like not high up. So he's just one of the tiny part of the giant machine. So there's little he can do about it in the situation. But then the way he talks and the sort of value that he advocates is very... It's like he's been brainwashed by them, by their own big organization, and it's like, you know, like we are all just, and you know, like, I'm like, no, but right now, all right, the young people in China are so just like aware of all those effed up things about you big Tencent, you Alibaba, and all those big companies. That's and it's just really ironic. And yeah, I won't go into the details about what I talked to this person about, but you know, it's the classic line that happens in Return of the Pearl Princess back in the 90s. 还珠格格 where 紫薇 said to 容嬷嬷, which is some people when they're slaves, they still have dignity in their heart. And they're not the most pathetic kind. The most pathetic kind of people is that once they become slaves, they have become head to toe, inside outside, fully a slave. And that line is so perfect for that person who works at Youku that I've talked about recently. I almost typed out that line and sent it back to him in the Ziwei fashion, but I didn't. I was like, why bother? Yeah, it may have confused some people about what I've just talked about, but if you get it, you get it, it's fine. Okay, what else can we talk about? Yeah, how old is that? Very old. Who said best to avoid opening and ending songs? Are you talking about Flaming Heart? Hopefully not. Although Flaming Heart, the opening song is Gongjun, right? The moment the first note comes out, I was like, auto-tune! It's so hearable. Like, sometimes it's very well done that you can't quite tell it's being auto-tuned, but oh my god, Gongjun singing. Full-on auto-tune. It's almost like at the brink of totally losing the reality of it. It's like, oh, it's so cute. And like, but he is so good at singing those like soldier type of songs, right? Like his energy is like, it's like definitely the best person to sing at the front line of a march, of a parade, but ignore the tunes. It's freestyle, basically. What happened to my Weibo? I was silenced for a month for no reason. Yeah, and I talked to customer service, and they talk in circles. They just don't solve it. And I was like, but I didn't do anything. You just like shut me down for a month with no good reason. So who knows? It's like a big automated system that decides, like the algorithm decides you have a problem, and the people are like, we don't care about, you know, I guess if I have like 10 million followers, and I have a lot of ad income, and it has a lot to do with Weibo's own sort of money, they will take care of it. But because my account was so small, they didn't care. I was like, fuck you. And I was like, fine. So I couldn't do anything on it. Like I can read it, but I cannot post anything for a month. And yeah, no reason. It just happened. Ha ha. Mercury retrograde. Blame the stars. The worst singer is the daughter. Okay, let's be honest. Zhou Ye. When Zhou Ye is there, Gongjun is not the worst. Because Gongjun, at least, he although his tunes are everywhere, but at least he can sing it out loud. Whereas Zhou Ye is like a, you know, she can't connect her voice. Like she's the air escapes her. Like dad, like daughter. Yeah, Gongjun sings, yeah. Gongjun has that long sort of like 打工人 experience, right? As models, he's like, yeah, do this, do that. It's like, okay, I do. You know, like when he goes and film, like the funniest thing when Gongjun goes and film for brands and their promotional stuff and the ads and all that, he cues himself. He's so funny. He cues himself. He's like, 来来1 2 3来这边来这边好了吗 and then he moves, he goes away, or he's like, okay 1 2 3 he cues himself. He's like, cameraman, look at me, 1 2 3 go, stop. Like he does that to himself. And oh my god. It's like a long time sort of working experience in the modeling and ad world. It's like he so cues himself. And when he goes to those events, you know, you have a big board behind and you sign, and then different media are all just in front of you, hundreds of cameras, and he would do the queuing. So 中间 he was like, middle first, okay? 这边那边 and it's like, did you all get that? Okay, goodbye. And he moves on. I'm like, come on. He's so funny. Like you hardly see anybody does that, right? And he's like so experienced. Like, yeah, I know this, and he will just move. Like he's so trained. Like the model thing is like, yeah, my hand will be here and here and here, and it's like, yeah, down, how, yeah, good. You have all the shots you need. 3 seconds, finishing the job. That will take other people 3 minutes. Efficiency, productivity, okay, management, time management. It's so funny. Like, yeah, I don't think other people do it like he does. I think that's why a lot of brands really like working with him. It's say if they go and film a commercial with him, they may only need to rent the studio for 1 hour, and they're done. They've got like 100 shots that's usable, and goodbye. Okay, save money. If they get somebody else in, they might be there for half a day and they still haven't got all the shots they want. So from that perspective, right, the brands are like, we love somebody who just knows how to do stuff in front of camera. For commercials. Okay, actors are different. Sometimes actors are very acting, so they're more aware of their own existence. But for him, because of the years of experiences, he knows how to hold the product up. And making it like, this is like where you should focus your attention there, not me. Okay, he's so good at that, and it's so funny to look at him going into that mode. It's like, remember the last episode of Word of Honor when he grabbed 六合神功, grabbed that wooden thing that's hidden in the box, right? And when he holds it up, it's like 找到了. It's like commercial immediately. One Cushing, you're doing a commercial. It's so not look like a drama. That runs into the blood of the ad people. Funny. Okay. It's good that we end on talking about Gongjun and his professionalism. So I hope this drama is at least okay. You know, I don't have like super high hope for, say, Flaming Heart, any of those. As long as it performs normally and it's not so cringy, it's good enough. Hopefully it's not like super cringy romantic stories. Just give me normal romantic stories and it's enough. Whew. Okay. For any of those questions, like how did I get my name? I think I've answered that in previous videos about myself. So that should conclude today's stream. I don't think, is there anything else? Okay, and then some people are asking stuff I've already talked about. So yeah. Others will be able to help that out. And then now I will do the draw. I'll scroll through the chat. And let's see who is gonna get it. Okay, I'm not looking at this. I'm just gonna scroll very randomly. Come on, okay, computer. And I'm gonna randomly hover over one person, and then come on. See how the mouse likes to do things. Okay, where am I? Okay, so this person with the profile picture of a flower. Is that flower? I can't tell. Bova? Sung? How do I pronounce your name? BOPHASENG. So, if you're still here, email me. Email me. Okay? Email me and let me know what you want. If you have a... It's me, yes, okay, this person is still here. Email me, you know my email, and it's in about hello@avenuex.ca, and then let me know what you want, whatever. Like the Amazon or other thing that as long as I can get is possible for me to get. I don't know where you are, so depending on. Okay. Yeah, so that's the end of this stream. Thank you for joining. Hope for everyone, wherever you are, you're safe. And COVID will not touch you, and crazy weather will not touch you. Insane heat wave or whatever. You know, if you're on the other end of the planet, then snowstorm. You know, nothing will touch you. Hope everything goes well. Hope summer will give us some good dramas this summer slot. Let's just pray for at least one BL. Maybe I'm asking too much, but I really want one. Okay, so email me and then take care. I'll see you in my weekly video on Saturday. Bye. Oh, thank you for the final person who squeezed in a 500 yen super chat. And your name. Okay, I can't pronounce that. It's the part of the Japanese that I cannot pronounce, but thank you. Okay.